Hello, Professor. It's Ashish Fatnani over here. I'll start continuing from the deployment of my chain code, that is smart contract. So I have already done the SSH into my VM, as you can see over here, and I have created a directory called smart contract, and I have added my Solidity chain code, that is smart contract. I've converted my Golang into Solidity code and added my Solidity code into this particular directory. We can have a look. So yeah, this is my smart contract. What we can do is, as of now, I've already installed Solidity into this machine. As you can see, Solidity is successfully been installed. The first thing, in order to generate the ABI code, we have to compile our Solidity smart contract. So, how are we gonna compile it? Uh, I've written the command to. So yeah, this has successfully compiled todo.sol into todo.json, and now I will deploy into Ethereum blockchain, which will give me address. So yeah, address.text is being generated. So far, so good. Uh, let's move ahead and hit this API into the Postman in order to generate the ID of the interface. So I'll copy the slug. Okay, so this is the demo data which is to be passed in the API, and in the place of ABI, what we can do is we have this todo.json. We can visit this, and as you can see, the ABI starts over here. Let's just copy this whole thing which ends over here, and I'll just paste it as it is in this data and try to hit this API. So it gives me this whole response. Now, in order to broadcast this data into each and every organization of a custodian, what we can do is I'll pass this response as the data into the next API call, and in order to broadcast, this is the slug. In order to broadcast, I will keep to do as the name of my contract, and let's say it's version 1.3. Okay. Uh, so yeah, let's try to hit it. Yeah, this is a successful call. We can copy the ID generated from this broadcast talk, which will be useful in our next API call. Now, our task is to generate the HTTP API from which we can visually see each and every endpoint of our smart contract through Swagger, right? So, in order to generate the HTTP API, this is the API URL. which accepts ID as a parameter, name of our smart contract, which is to do, and the address of our smart contract, which is deployed on the Ethereum blockchain. So we're going to copy this one first. This is to be a demo response, and the endpoint is default slash APIs, which accepts ID. So I'll copy the newly generated ID from the response and I'll paste it over here. Yeah, successfully copied. And yeah, it successfully given us the output. As you can see, the last object which is return URL, it has two links, which is open API, which is the JSON format, and a UI format. We'll copy this UI link in order to visually uh, see our API endpoints. And as you can see, this is each and every task. I mean, each and every endpoint of of our smart contract. So moving ahead, now in order to communicate or interact with this API, what we can use is something called as collab. I'll create a new notebook. First things is to install the Gradio, and now in the second part, I have customized my function. I'll walk you through line by line. So these are the prerequisites being needed or the packages being needed to run the function. I'm targeting this add task function. Like from a layman terms, I'm trying to interact my smart contract using this type of function, which is add task, which accepts two parameters. One is ID and one is description. So this is the link of the particular API endpoint, headers, which is pretty much common application JSONs, and instantiated ID and description as a parameter. So moving ahead, Gradle will accept ID as the first label and description as the second label. So now trying to execute the first things first. It is trying to execute the install Gradio command. Yeah, I think it's successfully done. Post that, we can execute this command. Yeah, so it's executing now this command. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so our add task API is successfully been called, and a demo UI is being generated in front of us. Like I said, it accepts two parameter. First is ID. Let's say I'm giving a random ID, and I'm giving a description. Let's try to submit it, and we have received the output as well. Also, in order to verify it again that it executed thoroughly, let's visit our Hyperledger Fabric. Endpoint activity transactions, and as you can see, a contract was invoked few seconds ago. We can click over here. uh, we can also have a visibility over here, and as you can see, this has been successfully executed. So yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you.